Yeah. How did that go?
It went better than expected. Everybody seemed to be really comfortable. You had all great suggestions of getting the kids snacks and drinks and I think that was the beginning of it. The kids were like, wait a minute, this looks like fun.
Would you have done it if there were no snacks and drinks?
I mean, it looked like a setup.
Oh, like I was setting you up.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like you got Fritos, or I forget what were there, but like all
snacks and like treats and like, okay, what's going on
you're
here?
like, what's going on here? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in here and doing this. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I want to get a couple of sort of legalese questions out of the way so that we can just talk.
Okay.
Okay. Has anyone offered you money, candy, a trip to the Bahamas, anything for sitting here with me today and doing this?
No.
Okay. Do you know that I cannot show this to anybody without you and your mom's permission?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that we're not going to show your face or say your name?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that you can stop at any time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that you don't have to answer any of my questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So like if I asked you a question and you were like, I don't want to stop, but I don't want to answer that question, you can just be like, nope.
Pass.
Pass.
See you later.
Is your mom here right now?
Yeah, she's right there.
She's right there. Great. Mom, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I wanted, first of all, I think it's super brave that you're doing this. This will help other kids, and maybe even more importantly, help other parents.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I think is the biggest problem is that parents don't talk to their own kids about this. So let me ask you a couple of questions. What grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yeah.
And has your health teacher or guidance counselor or any teacher discussed online pornography with you?
No.
Do you guys have health education in school?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what health education in 8th grade is like? Or 7th grade?
It was mostly about like female reproductive systems and the male reproductive system.
Okay.
But they didn't really tell us about anything else except for like the menstruation period.
Okay.
And yeah, it's basically it, I think.
Nothing about consent?
No.
Anything about like sexting?
What is that?
Sexting is where young people will take pictures of themselves and text it to other kids. They didn't talk about that?
No.
Okay. So and they didn't talk about like sexuality in any way?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they come anywhere near it?
I don't really think so.
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when you and I and your sister and your dad and your mom all sat down at your house and had a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that weird?
Yeah, very weird.
Okay. Will you tell me a little bit more about like what that was like for you?
Well, this weird guy that suddenly comes to your house and sits down and talks about pornography, a very weird topic.
Yeah.
That even parents don't like to talk to their children about.
Why do you think parents don't like to talk about it?
Because it's weird, or they never like experience the having conversation about porn. I guess.
Yeah. Was it weird that I was a guy? Would it have been different if it was a woman?
I don't really think so. I think just getting the message off is the important thing.
Okay. And how did we do getting the message out?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because I am okay talking about it, I guess.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I said this before, but I think you being like cool to talk about it may very well help other kids want to talk about it, and maybe even more importantly, have parents want to talk. So let me just ask, why do you think parents should talk to their kids about it?
Because it's a new thing and it's not very good for their brains. And if they told them about it and kids like told their parents, it would help them a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of just like having a kid, like 11-year-old kid, tell them, hey, look at this, and then they're interested and go look it up. Instead of their parents saying, hey, if you ever see this, just like walk away or something, or do the dab.
Yeah. So it strikes me that you don't think the dab is cool.
Not really.
Do you know why I want young people to do the dab when it comes to online porn?
So they don't even have like a chance to look at it.
Right. So if somebody said, "You ready? Will you do the dab for me?"
It's fine.
Okay. So if somebody says, "Hey, have you seen this?" Yeah. Now, do you know why you don't want to see it?
Yeah, because your brain tricks yourself into thinking that it's like that's what a relationship is, and like that's what you do in a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's not really true.
It isn't true.
Yeah.
It isn't true. Yeah, that is not what people do in relationships. Pornography is like a movie.
With actors and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, those are actors. And you got someone going, cut! That doesn't happen in real life. I always use the example of saying that we wouldn't learn how to drive by watching Fast and Furious movies. You shouldn't learn about sexuality by watching porn.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing. Okay, so the dab isn't cool. You're gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of your friends watch porn?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So they don't talk about it.
No. Pretty sure they don't want to talk about it.
Okay. And why not?
I don't know, because I don't want to talk about it at school. It's like that's weird for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with talking to my parents about it, but like kids, like I don't know, I just don't want to. It's not like a topic that's like, oh, look at this video game that just came out. It's not like that, you know.
Hey, I think that's really cool. Because, true story, the opposite of that is true most of the time. They don't want to talk to their parents about it, and they do talk to their friends at school. Have you ever heard of anybody watching it?
No, I just heard somebody say it, and then I was like, what's that? So I went over to my mom on the car ride back to home, and she was like, it's this movie thing that actors do for like money, and like it's very popular right now.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it is super popular. More people go and watch pornography movies than go to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and Roku combined, if you can believe that. Yeah, it's everywhere. Do you know on what devices people can find it?
Any device?
Yeah. Kindle, PlayStation. So tell me why you think kids your age should avoid seeing it.
For their health.
Yeah.
So they don't, because it's trying to remember what my mom said about it, like why it's not good for your brain. It tricks you and like it messes up your brain. And well, what I heard is your brain gets fully developed like 21 to 26. And
yeah.
So before that, things can like trick you and like make you believe that.
Yeah. No, that's really
good. So
good.
you should learn the good things before that.
100%.
So then you're set for life.
Yeah. Yeah, because, yeah, that's really a good way to say it. A lot of kids don't get set for life in that way. They get set for life the other way. Good. Let me see. Oh, do you guys talk about bullying in school?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
What do they teach you about bullying?
That when you do it, to go, like, talk to somebody, and, like, sometimes kids don't even say anything, because they feel like they're going to get hurt if they do say something.
Like hurt by the other kid?
Yeah. Like, they showed us this video at school showing this kid was getting bullied, and he didn't talk to anybody, so he got depressed, and he tried to kill himself.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. That must be a tough video to watch. What else do they talk about in school?
Drugs, smoking, school shootings, bullying, depression. Basically the main topics.
Okay. And were any of those harder to watch or pay attention to? Or, I mean, I guess school shootings got to be super scary.
Yeah, and the depression mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. What did they say the reason why kids get depressed?
Well, it's either like they don't feel appreciated at home, or like they're getting bullied at school, or the stress from school that their parents are not helping them with.
Yeah. How do parents help with stress around school?
Well, they help out like with their schoolwork, and they are supportive and like make sure everything gets on time and like helps them out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Have you ever seen online pornography?
No, not yet.
Do you think, wait, what did you say?
Not yet.
Not
Thankfully.
yet? Yeah. Do you think you will someday in your life?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Do you think that if you saw online pornography, you would tell your mom or dad?
Yeah.
What do you think their reaction would be?
They would probably help me get it fixed, and like they'd be supportive.
That's good.
My mom's told me this story that when she had a brother in the police force, and she looked up police accessories, and she found like butler porn.
Yeah. 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 Almost anything that you can type in right now will bring up a porn site.
That's why I only search up like restaurant times and like specific items, like the exact name.
So what do you think, what would you do if you were at your computer and you typed in something that brought up porn? What would you do?
Stop immediately and like go ask my mom for help.
Okay, so you would stand up from your computer and go find your mom and say, hey, help me out with this. I don't want to see that. That's good. You know, the young people are naturally curious about other humans. It's normal. It's the most normal thing in the world. And going online to
Look up something.
yeah, is also very normal. Like, that's where most kids get a lot of their information, either on their phone or on their computer or something like that. The challenge is that anything that you type in that's even remotely sexual will bring up pornography. And if you're not prepared, you can see it and you can think to yourself, oh, well, that must be what sex is like, or that must be like what a date is like, or something like that.
And then you get confused.
Yeah.
And your relationship goes bad.
Yeah. This is one of those questions that I'm going to ask you that you can say pass. Okay. Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend?
No.
Is that something that you're interested in?
Yeah.
Do you know how you would go about it?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. Yes. There's no formula, by the way. There's no specific formula for how to do that. I think it's great that you have not seen pornography. I think it's great that your parents are talking to you about it.
I'm thankful that I have not seen it yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. When I was your age, online pornography didn't exist. The internet didn't exist. There were no cell phones. There was nothing like that. So you had to talk to people in a regular way, and I like to think that we're coming back to that. Like we've had a couple generations that have just grown up with online pornography, but I'd like to think that we're coming back to that. Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Nope.
Okay. I really appreciate your doing this.
Yeah.
Mom, do you have any questions you think I should ask this young man?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Also, you're lame because you have superhero stuff.
You think that's lame?
Sort of.
How? Why?
Because you're grown. Because you're like this old man that has like these pictures of fantasy superheroes and like.
So you don't think Captain America's cool?
I mean, he's pretty cool, but
Okay.
but also the dad. So.
Oh, and the dad makes me lame?
Yeah.
But what if I'm trying to bring it back? Like.
Well, then you need like somebody that's making a difference.
Wait. I see what you're saying. I need somebody who's like making a difference in the world to bring the dad back.
Yeah.
That not me.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know, it's funny because I said you can say anything you want, and you can, and I said, do you have any more questions for me? That was pretty funny. Anything else?
No.
Well, thank you
You're welcome.
very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. That was really funny, by the way. Well, thanks, Mom, for coming in here and doing this.
Sure.
I really appreciate it. You know, one of the things that your son was talking about was that you have done a really good job of talking with him about pornography, online pornography.
And also how to like treat people and women especially.
Okay.
It's like she like every month to talk about that.
Okay. And what has she said to you?
Like that women are very different from men, and like you need to be treated with respect, and you need to care for them as well.
Yeah. That's good. And how did the talking about online pornography thing come up?
Well, I think a friend had mentioned to me that you had been at their school, or I honestly don't recall. And I thought, well, I've talked to my kids about most everything with regards to their body, but I hadn't talked to them about pornography. And I thought, well, this is the next level of communication with the kids. And I wasn't ready for it, but I went for it and started the conversation. And then realized that I really was not so good at it and asked you to come in and do it for me.
Good. Well, so the third talk is specifically set up just to help parents initiate that conversation. And after that, a lot of that fear goes away, and so parents can just say, oh, remember that conversation we had, or remember that statistic, or something like that. But I wanted to check in with you because, you know, a lot of the young people that I speak with, by the time they are your son's age, have not only already seen it, but openly discuss it as if it's part of their regular walking around life. And what do you think changed? Why do you think that your son is different in that regard? Did you talk to him about anything early on? I mean, what?
I did. I really started when both he and my daughter started school.
Okay.
And started talking to them about their body, and it was very basic stuff. It was kind of the old school bathing suit zone stuff, like nobody should touch you, wear your bathing suit covers, and I always talked to them, and I would, as they grew and developed, I would share kind of the next step that was coming up, and and so I've always talked to them, and they always have hated it. But it sounds like some of it has made it through. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
As uncomfortable as it was. And even now, this next level of conversation is not any easier, but it's like raising your child, right? 0 to 6 months is hard because you've never done it before. And then you get to the next stage and you think, oh, wow, I've done that. Pornography is kind of that same way. It's like the next stage, and it's hard, and you'll get past it.
Yeah. Do you remember the conversation we had in your house about this with your son and your daughter?
Yes.
Tell me about what was uncomfortable for you about that.
I mean, it was. I didn't know what you were going to say. I hoped that you would be able to talk to kids, right? Every child's different, and I was concerned with, like, what are the questions going to be coming at me after this?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, like what are the questions that the kids are going to ask you after I leave?
Or if they were comfortable enough with you, what are they going to ask me on the spot?
Yeah.
Right? That I was really worried about that.
Yeah. How did that go?
It went better than expected. Everybody seemed to be really comfortable. You had all great suggestions of getting the kids snacks and drinks, and and I think that was the beginning of it. The kids were like, wait a minute, this looks like fun.
Would you have done it if there were no snacks and drinks?
I mean, it looked like a setup.
Oh, like I was setting you up.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like you got Fritos, or I forget what were there, but like all
snacks and like treats and like, okay, what's going on
you're
here?
like, what's going on here? Okay.